Tonight on News 5 Live, another day and another episode of the UDP drama series. In tonight's episode starring Boots Martinez, he calls out Shine Barrow. The veteran UDP says it's time for Shine to go, and go he must. Meanwhile, Barrow calls the Tracy-led ground the alliance of corruption. In crime news, an attempted murder in Belize City. Who wants Mary Flowers dead and why? And 6 prisoners are challenging the parole board. We'll tell you why and if they'll be successful. Stay tuned because these stories and more are coming your way in just 60 seconds.
Reasons to step back. But when you achieve your goal, they will follow you. Gorilla, make some noise.
Remember, not all light bulbs are created equal. Our lighting department offers a wide assortment of light fixtures and accessories to suit your style. So stop in today and get the right illumination for your homecation. And don't forget your B-Box when you make a purchase. Benny's, quality and savings.
This newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
Good evening. Welcome to News 5 Live for Wednesday, October 23rd. I'm Carla Ayers-Musa. Veteran UDP member Anthony Boots Martinez is firing back at Moses Shine Barrow tonight. Martinez, who supports Tracy Tagar-Panton, summoned the media this morning in front of the UDP headquarters. He held his press conference in front of the building, in the parking lot, and not inside. Martinez chastised Barrow after Barrow's interview with News 5 on Tuesday night, during which Barrow accused Martinez and others of corruption. Well, the emotive Martinez is not having it, and he didn't only throw shade at Barrow, he threw the entire tree. According to Martinez, he has a lot of problems with Barrow's leadership and accuses Barrow of ignoring the party's constitution.
One thing I will say, that he don't know nothing about me. So when you try to malign me in terms of what you believe or what you think of me, let me say this. Mr. Barrow, the farmer, I think say Mr. Barrow, Jamal, they are some chancy and bully individual. And I got certain things that I will say relating to this party. I have been in this party since 1980 with the YPF, longest active member of the United Democratic Party, up to 2024. Take me lick for this party, give me eyeballs, all kind of thing. And listen to me now. There's nothing wrong with people making their choices. But what I have a problem with is Mr. Barrow wanting to take this party into a dictatorship kind of leadership. It don't work like that. They don't follow no part of the Constitution. They don't do nothing to follow the part of the Constitution, including helping the party. See, on the party headquarters here, there is no full-time secretariat here. Come in here at 5 or 10 minutes. The last time, because the secretary was on holiday, You know what happened? The supplement that was delivered from elections and boundaries was carried back, you know. Never come back till the day when there is the last day for obstruction. And just to show you, they run this party like their own business. And I have a fundamental problem with that. Where is the voice of reasoning within this party? Where are the senior people within this party? Where is the voice of reasoning? We can't just allow things to happen. How you? There is a code of conduct for everybody, you know, including him. How you can get on television and he call this one you corrupt and this one you this one you corrupt and this one you woman beater and so.
You talked about last night.
Yes. And then you have your own difficulty. Remember you stamp your wife in your back, you know, and that is we call it the police station. So who are you, sir? Who are you, sir, to come to this nation and like you to save this nation by getting rid of in whatsoever the case may be? You see the type of capable people when they out there? They don't know people with a doctorate in terms of birds and beasts. Then there are people who had legitimate degrees. There are people who have contributed to the development of this party, and you fling people like that.
And Martinez did not stop there. Aside from saying he believes that Barrow isn't a millionaire, Martinez brought up Barrow's criminal past in the U.S. He accuses Barrow of deception and bullying and maintains that he is not acting in the best interest of the people. Martinez also likened Barrow to a scorpion, and it's time for him to just go away.
Listen to me, I think that he tricked a lot of people in Belize by posing as this millionaire. And I don't think he got on, Papa. I don't think he got on at all. I don't think he got on at all. I have some fundamental problem in terms of the main thing, the structures of the party. You want got an NPC meeting by WhatsApp without there is process for everything. I believe in a due process, and then you talk about this and that and Wara and Tara. Listen to me. When we were here fighting, he was a convict, served his time in jail. So I'm sorry. When then they talk about you want to get rid of people for help people, sorry, you can't bring your criminal behavior back to this country. I am sorry. I think that I am one who believe that everybody should be reformed and everybody have second and third and fourth chances and so. But they always say, a scorpion is a scorpion. No care how you try. The only job that for staying, and that is his modus operandi. He wants to take over this party as a dictator. In my humble opinion, you don't respect the will of the people. You need to give up, brother. But I knew, and I said to a person before, I knew. Seems like he want to dead with the chair in his hand, you know, and let him go a minute, regardless of what. They don't follow no kind of process at all. No kind of process. And the minute there is dissented voice, oh, you the LBQT, you the this, you the that. Man, you see the kind of thing that he's saying about not only standard bearers and so, citizens of this country. He's very rude, bully, disingenuous, and disrespectful as far as I know. He don't have the capability to run this country. I am sorry.
During his extended press conference, Anthony Boots Martinez expressed skepticism on getting rid of Barrow. He says that the party's success hinges on its leadership and insisted that until constitutional reforms are implemented, individuals should be free to change their minds.
I know it's not going easy. He want to hold on to that chair like what I said. I was the first person to come and say that he sleep with the chair under a bed. and he see cross with the foot, the mind that charge it. And make I tell you something, you could see things speak volume, man. Like this country need a viable opposition. I don't care what nobody say. You quarrel with the speaker, you quarrel with your members, you quarrel with PUP, you quarrel with, and no conscious that you are duping to a lot of things. This country need a viable opposition with a reasonable leader. He is unfit. Michael Perry and Alberto Agas, they are the two most powerful people in the constitution of the United Democratic Party. So what people do now? So when you say, the constitution say, 1/4 delegate trigger and recall, 2/3 call a national convention, people have a right to change their mind. I don't care what happens until you change that out of the constitution. This is where you need to have constitutional reform. If you want to say you only could recall one man within one term, a leadership, that is it. But you go on the constitution left for a revolving door. Tomorrow, somebody could start a petition and the whole thing start over again. Then there is reform where the party they need to look on. And so at the end of the day, when you just ignore people in terms of the chairman and so, and no disregard to what it is in the constitution, that is dictatorship, sir. So where is the party rules even for the party leader? He say anything when he want about anybody and nobody say nothing. I am sorry. I got family. I got friends too. And so is he. And may I tell you something. One thing I could say, that I was never charged abroad or here or even convicted in any part of the world. I am sorry. Then people get on blind.
During our interview with Moses Shine Barrow, he accused those who support the Alliance for Democracy of corruption. He said that the Alliance wants to take over the UDP, and he went further to say that the real leaders of the Alliance are John Saldivar and Patrick Faber.
What is at play here is not the constitution of the UDP, is not dictatorship, it is ego, it is entitlement, it is all personal agendas, personal ambitions. And that is why those politicians, the Alliance for Corruption, they are against me because I'm not a part of their cabal. I am not a part of their network that existed. Many of them are friends because they used to do their hustling and corruption together. I am not a part of that. And I represent change. I represent integrity. I represent an era of politics where elected representatives will actually make sure that people of this country are getting the goods and services that they deserve, and they will not sell themselves to the highest bidder in the private sector and special interests. They want to steal the UDP. They want to overthrow the UDP. This is a failed coup d'etat. And this is not about constitutionality. This is not about any dictatorship. This is about the dictators in the alliance wanting to have control and power, in particular John Saldivar, Patrick Faber, and they are merely using Tracy Pantan as exactly what they say, interim. Even in the Alliance for Democracy Party, she is the interim, because the real leaders of the Alliance for Democracy Party are John Saldivar and Patrick Faber.
Do you get advice from former Prime Minister Dean Barrow?
Yes, we speak.
Does he agree with you with what's happening and the way you're handling the alliance?
Yes, he supports my position.
On Sunday, hundreds of UDP supporters and party members gathered to participate in a convention hosted by the Alliance for Democracy under the UDP. The convention was to recall party leader Moses Shine Barrow, which Panton says they successfully did. Barrow has described the convention as a farce, saying that it was a waste of time and money. But according to Tagar Panton, the purpose of the convention was to unite the United Democratic Party.
That convention sought to do a couple of things. One, to convene it so we can hear the voices of the delegates of the party. And 232 delegates requested that the convention be convened. Two, to recall the former party leader Shine Barrow from his position of party leader. And we had 208 delegates who triggered that recall, and we met the threshold. And at the convention, the party leader was recalled. 347 delegates voted, 334 in favor of the recall and 13 against the recall. And the third objective of the convention was to deal with the business of the party. What would be our platform, the need for constitutional reform, it was the big one. Also where we stand on women and youth and economic development and all those, the policy platform committee, which would have to be working now in preparation for the next elections, because it requires quite a bit of consultation with our supporters and members of the social partners, etc. And of course, the last motion of the day was to seek the consensus, if you will, of the National Convention as it relates to who is the leader of the opposition in the House. So that business was conducted on behalf of the United Democratic Party.
Following the UDP convention on Sunday, participants have expressed their views on the legitimacy of the event and the removal of Moses Shine Barrow as party leader. This raises the question of the future of the building on Youth for the Future Drive, which has long served as the UDP headquarters. The Albert area representative, who was named interim party leader at the convention, stated in an interview with News 5 that the building is not for the UDP, but rather for the people.
The headquarters and the elected executive, as they were, are still in control of the UDP headquarters. So in terms of getting the business,
there's a fixation, I believe, on this building. The institution, as I maintain, is not a building. The people represent the institution. If you talk about a workspace, I have a workspace, Patrick has a workspace, our chairperson has a workspace. If we're looking at a workspace, I know the headquarters may be sort of symbolic in terms of the institution, but it's not the institution, and we will give it no greater importance than that.
Coming up, a woman is attacked and raped in her own apartment.
My name is Hermine Vega. El Patio Grill has been using Belize Bank for over 25 years. We only use Belize Bank at our restaurant. That's why we were able to win this trip to Europe. I had never been to Europe. We found out it was Madrid and we were excited and we went to this football match. The teams reached before the game and everybody was just outside, you know. You can't explain, the noise just roared like 3 blocks down the street, but when you got in there and you saw 70,000 people in there, that was amazing. I couldn't believe it was happening. I had to pinch myself to make sure it was real, you know, because it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience, I'd say. My lucky plus one was my son. He's 18 years old, so he was really excited and he enjoyed it as well. He said it's his best trip ever, so it's a priceless experience that we got. Belize Bank has always been there for me. Whatever transactions or whatever I need to do, they're always there for me. I would recommend everybody use Belize Bank. It's the oldest bank in our country and they continue to do their best.
The Statistical Institute of Belize, in collaboration with UNICEF, informs the public that they will conduct the Multiple Indicator Cluster Survey starting August 26th for approximately 14 weeks. During the survey, trained interviewers will visit randomly selected households nationwide. Each field worker will wear a mint green t-shirt with the Mix 7 logo and an official photo identification card. We thank you for your participation. For more information on the Multiple Indicator Cluster Survey, call us at 822-2207. The Statistical Institute of Belize, providing Belize with quality, objective, and timely information.
Are you ready to take your business to the next level? This unbeatable rental space in the heart of San Ignacio town is waiting for you. Located at the corner of Benqueviejo Road and Hudson Street, directly across from Cod's Drugstore. Measuring 1,400 square feet, which sits on top of 4,300 square feet of prime land, making it the perfect spot for you. The building has ample parking spaces on both sides, with direct access to the two main streets and inside the building, with 2 quality restrooms. With expert wiring intended to accommodate an industrial generator, this space is made for success. And not to mention, it's in close proximity to all major banks, the San Ignacio Police Station, pharmacies, clinics, restaurants, cafes, and a short walk from the bus terminal for an easy access to anywhere in the country. Reach out to us before it's gone. Call 614-8367 or 613-9760.
MacNav Visual Strategies, where creativity meets business. Step inside our world of innovative visual solutions. From captivating graphic design to expansive wide format productions, our services are tailored to bring your vision to life. Experience the impact of our high-quality signage and billboards, embroidery, promotional items, and professional paper printing, all designed to elevate your brand's presence. Every project reflects our commitment to creativity, quality, and client satisfaction. At MacNav Visual Strategies, we transform ideas into visual realities. Get in touch today.
Tell me, what about Barrow today? I recently done a Red Girl video. I get more views than Harriet. And you know one person had the nerve to post that I not even a red girl? I mean, like, what that mean anyway?
Well, here what about me? Every time I go buy meat pie, and I go, so, nothing in there. Nothing.
So this is my issue. I over 18. I don't want no one artist. And you could believe my man still expect me for wash dishes? I don't got time for that. I don't prefer dishes. Yes.
And you, sir?
Well, I don't really got them kind of problems, you know. Ever since I switched to DJ and signed up for my unlimited postpaid plan, life stress-free. Nothing but me or my connection no more.
Are you a dynamic and charismatic personality with a passion for storytelling? Do you have a unique voice that captivates audiences and a talent for bringing stories to life? We are looking for fresh faces who are energetic, engaging, and natural in front of the camera or microphone. If you are passionate about acting or voice work, we want to see what you've got. To register, email producer@channel5belize.com or call 670-6068.
Eight claimants, including Anwar Barrow, Equity Holdings Limited, and 6 other companies, have filed a constitutional claim against the Financial Services Commission, FSC, and the Attorney General. The claimants allege that the FSC misapplied a merger fee during the consolidation of 13 companies. They are also challenging the FSC's policy requiring domestic companies with foreign shareholders to pay for services in US dollars. The claimants argue that these actions violate their constitutional rights to legal protection and protection from discrimination. We spoke with Hector Guerra, one of the attorneys representing the claimants, for more details.
This claim emerged because Acuity Holdings was engaging in a merger of 13 companies and was required, each company that participated in that merger was required to pay a fee. Acuity's primary grievance is that that was not required under the Companies Act. It's also alleging other things. For example, when the Companies Act was passed in 2022, it introduced various new requirements. These included the need for companies, domestic companies primarily with foreign shareholders, even CARICOM shareholders, to file documents through what's called a registered agent. It also required companies with foreign shareholders to make payments using US dollars. And so the companies are saying that what that amounts to is discrimination, in that we're all Belizean companies, but you're putting additional burdens on me to operate within the Belizean market that companies who have solely Belizean shareholders are not required to do. So that really is, in a nutshell, what the claim is about. It's really to benefit the financial service area in Belize, because it's been a matter that has been raised repeatedly but hasn't been properly litigated. And so what we're saying is this litigation will inure to the benefit of the financial services market.
Police are investigating a case of attempted murder that occurred on Tuesday night in Belize City. At around 8:45 p.m., 48-year-old Mary Flowers was exiting the residence of her former partner on Santa Barbara Street when suddenly she heard two loud bangs. Flowers reported feeling a sudden sensation in her neck and started bleeding. After Flowers fell to the ground in pain, Smith rushed to her aid and transported her to the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital. Police canvassed the area and found no expended shells. However, the neighboring house was also found with gunshot damage on the side, and one slug was retrieved from that specific area. Police have reviewed surveillance footage and spoken to several people in the area as they continue their investigation. 51-year-old Cecil Franklin was remanded today on a charge of rape after he allegedly raped a woman inside her apartment. The victim told police that Franklin, whom she knew and who goes by the nickname G.I. Joe, ambushed her at her apartment door, placed a knife at her throat, forced her inside, and raped her on her bed. With the help of someone in the area, the rapist was detained shortly after the incident and was handed over to police. Franklin, a shoe repairman and bike repairman, was denied bail because of the nature of the charge. The 58-year-old woman told police that on Monday night around 8:40 p.m. she arrived at her apartment, and upon opening her door, Franklin held her from behind, placed a knife to her throat, and pushed her into the apartment and raped her. She said that a neighbor heard the commotion inside her apartment and called the police. Franklin is no stranger to the court or police. He has a long rap sheet with several convictions for robbery, wounding, and burglary, and has also been bound over to keep the peace before. He was remanded to Belize Central Prison until December 19th. A security guard of Ambergris Key has been fined $400 for slapping his common-law wife. 40-year-old Jose Garcia was arraigned in the magistrate's court today and admitted to slapping Norma No twice. The incident happened on Saturday at their residence, 13 miles north of San Pedro on Ambergris Key. In the absence of a magistrate in San Pedro on Tuesday, Garcia was brought to the Belize City Magistrate's Court, where he pleaded guilty to a charge of harm. he expressed remorse and told the court that he should have thought before reacting. The magistrate told Garcia that while he saved court time by pleading guilty, the fact that he slapped No not once but twice was an aggravating factor. Since he is a first-time offender, however, and because he expressed remorse, she did not impose a custodial sentence. In a report to police, No stated that at 4 o'clock Saturday evening, she left work and got a ride on a golf cart, and Garcia met her and they headed home. According to No, they got into an argument, and that's when Garcia assaulted her. A doctor has classified her injuries as harm, and No requested court action against Garcia. He was given until December 20th to pay the fine. In default, he'll spend 3 months behind bars. Today, 6 Belizean prisoners appeared before the High Court to contest the Parole Board's decision to deny them parole. The inmates, who were convicted of serious crimes such as manslaughter, murder, and kidnapping, argue that the board's decision was unconstitutional as it failed to follow the legal mandate to assess whether their release would pose a public safety risk. Leslie Mendez, their attorney, explained after the court session that the parole board did not properly address this key consideration.
The parole did not make its decision according to the law and the considerations that they ought to have taken into account. So what we say and what the cases say, and in fact what the Caribbean Court of Justice has said, that when you're determining whether or not to grant parole, the question is whether or not the prisoner continues to pose a threat to public safety. And in this case, we're saying that the parole board did not take that, or did not answer that question, really, when it decided to deny parole.
All the prisoners would have, because it's parole, completed their time served, time allotted, and they have had good behavior and so in prison to warrant parole.
Right. So again, sentences in Belize and what the cases established, as I mentioned, are served in 2 parts, basically. The first part is your non-parole period, and sometimes the judge sets that, or the parole act sets that. But after you have served that non-parole period, where you can absolutely not be released, you have to remain confined, the next part of the sentence is a security period, where you remain confined if you continue to pose a threat to public safety. It's a very specific question that must be answered by the parole board in order for them to determine whether to deny you parole.
The 6 prisoners who appeared in court argue that they do not continue to pose a threat to public safety and can be reintegrated into society with adequate supervision. Their defense attorney, Leslie Mendez, told reporters that the purpose of the trial is to review the decision of the parole board to deny the prisoners, with the goal of coming to a new decision having made the adequate risk assessments.
The submissions were concluded today, but what the court did is that the court heard us. She has all our written submissions as well, all our authorities. But the court asked that we come back in November because the court wants to have time to review the written submissions and then basically continue the discussion, have further submissions before the court. Remember, we're not here for the court to grant parole or not. We're here to review the decision of the parole board. So all of that evidence of good behavior or bad behavior would have been presented to the parole board. At this point, what we're telling the court is that based on what was before the parole board, there was no reason to deny them parole because none of them have established a real risk that they continue to present a threat to public safety. And so what should obtain now is their reintegration into society, but supervised.
After the break, in this week's 5-point breakdown, we'll take a look at how you can make money off of Securities. But first, here's the latest weather update from the Belize Met Service.
Today marks a milestone for Keycorker, one that is both timely and essential. As we all know, our beautiful island has seen significant growth over the past years.
Long gone are the days that we wait for the problems to come to us and we deal with it. And I want to applaud BWS on this initiative. They demonstrate the good corporate community responsibility that they demonstrate right here.
Notably today, we are inaugurating a state-of-the-art 150,000-gallon reverse osmosis desalination plant. This is a $1.5 million investment which ensures water security for Keycorker for the next 15 years. BWS intends to invest an additional $48 million, and today's groundbreaking marks the initial step in turning what is this board's vision and the government's vision into a reality.
This is more than just an investment in infrastructure. It is an investment in the people, the community's health, and the sustained development of Keycorker. We all know that access to clean water is not just a necessity, it is a right. These projects reaffirm that it suits everyone who calls the beautiful island home.
In recognition of the patience and support from the residents of Keycorker, BWS will award 30 primary school students and 3 high school students with an educational grant to assist with their school fees.
Today now, with this new 150,000-gallon reverse osmosis state-of-the-art system, reactor will be producing about 300,000 gallons of water. And as we expand up to the north, and we get more people coming to Belize, I suspect in the next few years, we need to be able to do another expansion to ensure that we can keep up with the demand, that in the next 20 years we're still going to have water for the good people of Keycorker. And they went a step further. They're not just providing you water that is safe to drink, but water that tastes better. And you have it here in this cup. I could tell it's good water. So I want to take the opportunity to commend the board of BWSL and Minister Shabat, who is at the helm, ensuring that we can get this done. So we have to ensure to see how best we could plan to make sure that we can get the best services available to the people of this country.
At BWSL, we make it happen.
Improving lives, delivering quality, water for you and me. In Belize, BWS, we make it happen.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you've been waiting for. In this corner, we have the masters of limitless power and unbeatable connection. Pioneers of 4G LTE in Belize. It's the undefeated champion, Smart. And in the other corner, struggling to keep up, it's the other guy. Fight! Tired of getting blow after blow from a plan with the other guys? It's time to tap out and join the winning postpaid plan provider. Smart's postpaid plans are a total knockout to the competition, and they have once again powered up their postpaid plans. Sign up for one of Smart's boosted postpaid power plans today and experience the victory of superior service. Smart, bringing people together.
a dynamic and charismatic personality with a passion for storytelling? Do you have a unique voice that captivates audiences and a talent for bringing stories to life? We are looking for fresh faces who are energetic, engaging, and natural in front of the camera or microphone. If you are passionate about acting or voice work, we want to see what you've got. To register, email producer@channel5belize.com or call 670-6068.
What if there was a way for your money to earn interest or dividends outside of a traditional savings account? Many Belizeans place their hard-earned money in savings accounts, earning up to 2% annually at banks or up to 4% at credit unions. However, those savings could also be invested in securities that offer competitive, often higher interest rates. In this week's installment of 5-Point Breakdown, News 5's Paul Lopez explores Belize's securities industry in detail.
Let's talk about securities. And no, we're not talking about home security or business security. We're talking about a financial instrument that has monetary value and can be traded. Let's look at how this industry is reshaping the financial industry in Belize. We sat down with economic consultant Romila Rana for an explanation of the securities industry.
Securities are generally of two types. You have debt securities and you have equity securities. Equities represent an ownership stake in a business or whoever is giving that security. So people of Belize might recognize that in the form of shares or stocks. The return that people get from those come in the form of dividends. So when dividends are declared by the business at the end of the year, you as a shareholder receive an amount depending on the percentage or the amount of shares that you own.
The Belize Telemedia Limited is one entity that deals in equity securities. Recently, the telecom giant issued a public notice informing shareholders that the company will begin to pay final dividends for the 2023-2024 fiscal year. And then there is debt securities. It is called debt security because the issuer is essentially a borrower. The investor does not receive shares in return, but rather a stream of annual interest payments. For further explanation, we turn to the Belize City Council. They have issued bonds in the past to advance their development operations.
It empowers you as a municipality that you are now able to access funding outside of the traditional way of how municipalities once used to finance development. They would either do overdraft, they would either do loans. But what we found out is that the Belize City investment climate is ripe for issuing securities, right? We have over close to 800 million in excess liquidity in the banking system. For Belize City, we offer interest rates on our bonds between 4.5% and 5.5%. That is competitive compared to the market. It helps us fund roads, streets, bridges. That is what it does for municipalities.
And every effective securities industry needs a regulatory body. That is where the Financial Services Commission comes into play. At its core, the FSC is mandated to protect and enhance the reputation of Belize as a financial center while protecting investors from unfair and fraudulent practices. Guided by the Financial Services Commission Act, the Securities Commission Act, and the Municipal Securities Act, FSC Security Policy Analyst Sean Gordon further explained the role of the FSC.
A large part of our mandate as the securities regulator is always to ensure that investors are well protected at all times. So really, with that, if you have an entity or a company that wants to conduct securities business, they must first be registered to do so within our jurisdiction. We need to ensure that one, the company and also the personnel involved are fit and proper or really qualified to do so in our jurisdiction. We also regulate offerings. So for example, like the Belize City Council bond. Typically when an offerer wants to put something to the market, they have to get the approval from the commission, from the securities regulator. So typically how that works is that they have to submit what you call a prospectus. And a prospectus really is a document that comprises or summarizes, well, not really summarizes, but it has all the material information that you as an investor need to make an informed decision.
Belize has the components necessary to expand the market for securities to be issued, which is also known as a primary securities market. But there's a next step in the process where these previously issued securities can be bought and sold by investors. This is referred to as a secondary market. The stock exchange market is an example that does not currently exist in Belize.
At the stock exchange, you need several things that happened before that. You need underwriters, you need investors, you need what we call a central securities deposit, because again, the securities, we can't hold them all in terms of the certificate, the physical certificate, because if I want to trade, that would be harder. I'd have to walk with my certificate to you and say, here, this is worth $10,000, purchase it from me, and you hand me $10,000. You know the risks involved in that, right? So you need a central security, so you need institutions, you need an economy that's ready for it. Because if we're being very honest, the average Belizean economy, the average Belizean household is making probably about $2,000 or less. So that doesn't give them disposable income to make that purchase.
So until then, the key takeaway for potential investors is that opportunities exist to earn passive income outside of the banking system through securities investments. But as FSC's security policy analyst Sean Gordon explained, every potential investor must always do his or her due diligence.
The key thing here is to ensure that investors are doing their part, doing their own due diligence. So if you're seeing an advertisement from a firm, whoever it is, domestic or international, you must always double check with the commission via our website, or just simply send us an email or call us to ensure that that entity is indeed registered to carry out securities business.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
When we return, Shine says he has invested millions in the UDP. Boot says Shine ain't no millionaire.
Company, we understand that life can be demanding and fast-paced, so we've made it easier for you to contact us. Wherever you may be and at your own convenience, you can now access our services through our social media platforms. RFNG Life is pleased to introduce our new LifeBot service. Request a quotation, make premium payments, speak to a customer service representative, and more from right where you are in the palm of your hands. Visit our website or Facebook page or WhatsApp us at 671-5143 to try out our new LifeBot service today. RFNG Life Insurance, the Life Company.
So the doctor has given me 5 days off. How do I get paid from Social Security? This is how Social Security works for sickness benefits. First, you must check that you qualify. You must be employed when you got sick, have made 50 paid contributions, have made 5 paid contributions within 13 weeks immediately before getting sick. To ensure that your processing goes smoothly, be sure to complete and submit your claim form within 14 days of the first day of illness.
Thanks, I get it now.
Visit our website or contact any of our offices to have someone assist you. Also, be sure to visit our Facebook page and give us a like to stay informed. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you've been waiting for. In this corner, we have the masters of limitless power and unbeatable connections. Pioneers of 4G LTE in Belize. It's the undefeated champion, Smart. And in the other corner, struggling to keep up, it's the other guy. Fight! Tired of getting blow after blow from a plan with the other guys? It's time to tap out and join the winning postpaid plan provider. Smart's postpaid plans are a total knockout to the competition, and they have once again powered up their postpaid plans. Sign up for one of Smart's boosted postpaid power plans today and experience the victory of superior service. Smart, bringing people together.
We all know about the phasing out of single-use plastics and the enactment of pollution from the plastics regulations. One of the key components in this regulation states that for an item to be considered biodegradable, it must consist of more than 50% of bio-based content. Here, you will find out how the Department of the Environment determines what items meet the criteria and what equipment is being used to guide that process.
Since 2019, the Department of the Environment has been working with CIFAS in doing microplastics. Through this project, CIFAS has donated 2 microscope Fourier transform infrared spectroscopy equipment to strengthen capacities on monitoring and enforcement to reduce marine litter and plastic pollution. The FTIR can be used to identify unknown materials. The Department of the Environment will use the equipment to determine the composition of single-use plastics and biodegradable products to enforce the environmental protection, pollution from plastics regulations.
While we have a long way to go with the implementation of the pollution from plastics regulation, having this equipment is one step closer. For more information on what's being done about biodegradables and ways you can help, visit our website at www.doe.gov.bz.
Are you a dynamic and charismatic personality with a passion for storytelling? Do you have a unique voice that captivates audiences and a talent for bringing stories to life? We are looking for fresh faces who are energetic, engaging, and natural in front of the camera or microphone. If you are passionate about acting or voice work, we want to see what you've got. To register, email producer@channel5belize.com or call 670-6068.
While Moses Barrow maintains that the event hosted on Sunday by the Tracy Panton-led Alliance for Democracy was not a legitimate UDP convention, the alliance is standing firm. In a press release issued today by Panton under the UDP banner, she declared that Barrow is no longer serving as the party leader effective immediately. During the press conference hosted earlier by former UDP Minister Anthony Boots Martinez, he said that Panton is the interim party leader until another convention is held to elect a new leader, since Barrow was recalled on Sunday.
As far as I know, they have to invite people for the position. if my memory serves me right, there must be a convention not earlier than 30 days and later than 90 days for full the various posts. And so, as I understand it, that is the interim leader until such time, unless...
It is confirmed in a leadership convention.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So the delegates again will have to come back and confirm that. Not with the fanfare, sir.
Yes.
Not with the fanfare. Not with the fanfare. So I don't think it can be so much expensive. So the delegates will have to be returning back to make certain decisions of the party. That is just my humble view and my interpretation of it. Of course, I'm no lawyer, but I could read. Well, as far as I could read fairly well, you know, that kind of way.
Returning to Moses Barrow, he claims to have invested millions of dollars in the UDP, including funds for standard bearers who do not back his leadership. Barrow further stated that the alliance is eager to claim the UDP name due to the challenges of securing funding for the party's operations.
Nobody wants to give any opposition party money. That's why they want to hold on to the UDP name, because even as a UDP organization, it is difficult to get monies from the donor community. Imagine a third party, and that is what they're afraid of, and that is why they're engaged in deception and fraud. But when Patrick Farber was the leader of the UDP and Tracy was right next to him, they couldn't raise any money.
Okay.
They complained about that over and repeatedly, that they had no money. They cut the salaries of the staff. They could not do anything. They did not have one protest. They did not have one event. They did nothing while Patrick Farber was leader. The point I'm trying to make to you as far as the municipal elections, when I raised that money and I spent, personally, I spent millions of dollars on this party since I have been leader, and I spent at least $1 million personally in the municipal elections. When that money is given to colleagues, you trust them to deliver and perform. And the performance was dismal.
At today's press conference, former UDP Minister Anthony Boots Martinez explained that he never relied on the party to fund his political campaigns. Instead, he funded his campaigns out of pocket, acquiring the money by any means necessary. He, however, used an old saying, one that he shouldn't have, and retracted his statement after one of the reporters pointed it out to him.
Let me make it clear. United Democratic Party, all the years that I served, I have paid 5% of my salary to this party. And when time there is election, I fund my own election. Whether thief, Barrow or big, I fund my own election with nothing from this party. I'll just say, I find it. By any means, I find it.
But you said thief?
Well, I just use one analogy.
You can't use that kind of analogy there?
No, I just say I find my resourcefulness. Wherever I get it, I get it. But any which way, let me refrain that way. Barrow big. Make me go there. I want to take back that thief there, because, you know, maybe that one word where, to me, in a lot of senses, the general public looks on politicians as thieves. Not make me hide from that, but that's why maybe I include the word. So when you talk about any the first thing, and people say, I don't want to thief in politicians, and whether you're red or blue, and that's the truth. Yeah, but any which way.
Disney has released the trailer for the upcoming documentary, The Honorable Shine, which explores the journey of Moses Shine Barrow. Barrow gained fame in the late 1990s as an emerging rap star, but his career took a downturn after he was charged in connection with a high-profile nightclub shooting involving rap mogul Diddy. In 2001, Barrow was convicted and sentenced to 10 years in prison, while Combs was acquitted. According to Disney, the documentary offers a personal look at Barrow's evolution. According to Barrow, the documentary shows a true image of his life.
It's quite a journey of tragedy and triumph. And that was the main focus. I did not want to tell a victim story. People have been coming to me to do a documentary forever. I would say for the last maybe 20 years, people have wanted to do a documentary with me, but I did not want to tell the Sean Puffy Combs documentary. I did not want to tell the, this is what happened to me, it's all your fault documentary. I think now is the right time, and so I'm very fortunate to have the right partners that I could have entrusted to tell the journey truthfully, not even biased to me. And I believe this is a truthful depiction of my journey, triumph, tragedy, triumph again, and we continue the fight. And I would not have been able to survive anything that I have if maybe I grew up differently, in my father's bosom, being pet and powdered. My father and I have never had a better relationship now, and I'm not ashamed of that. And you'll get to see in the documentary that my father is not this great orchestrator of Shine Barrow. In fact, we differ on many things.
Up next, a man goes missing. His family suspects police involvement.
Welcome to Design Depot, home of Sherwin-Williams Paint. Sherwin-Williams Paint is one of the most reputable paints in the industry, known for its superior quality, durability, and environmentally friendly technology. We carry a large variety of products for all your home and commercial needs, such as interior and exterior paints, primers, wood stains, sealers, clear top coats, caulking, aerosols, concrete, and masonry products. Achieve professional looking results with ease using Sherwin-Williams paint and coating. Design Depot, all in one place.
La formación del Centro Neurológico del Hospital Galenia es que esas enfermedades que son altamente complejas y que muchos de nuestros pacientes tenían que emigrar hacia otra parte de la República u otra parte de México ahora puedan ser atendidos aquí.
La atención quirúrgica en el centro neurológico se forma dentro de un grupo multidisciplinario que incluye tanto neurólogos, médicos internistas, ortopedistas, neurocirujanos pediatras. Y este esfuerzo que se ha realizado para conjuntar todos los especialistas es para siempre brindar al paciente un abordaje multidisciplinario y transversal.
Evidentemente, mientras más rápido podamos llegar al diagnóstico de los pacientes, más rápido podemos tratarlos, resolverlos y por ende mejor resultado vamos a tener al final. Entonces creo que la prioridad y el fundamento principal de un proyecto como este es justamente eso, que no se pierda tiempo de forma innecesaria para poder al final del día llegar al mejor de los resultados con un tratamiento completo, integral y oportuno.
Y las visiones desde diferentes perspectivas nos permiten tener el mejor tratamiento y la mejor opción para el paciente.
Tenemos la capacidad técnica, operativa, profesional y la infraestructura de poder establecer una atención neurológica de alta calidad.
unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Iowa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Iowa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Iowa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Iowa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Iowa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you've been waiting for. In this corner, we have the masters of limitless power and unbeatable connection. Pioneers of 4G LTE in Belize. It's the undefeated champion, Smart. And in the other corner, struggling to keep up, it's the other guy. Fight! Tired of getting blow after blow from a plan with the other guys? It's time to tap out and join the winning postpaid plan provider. Smart's postpaid plans are a total knockout to the competition, and they have once again powered up their postpaid plans. Sign up for one of Smart's boosted postpaid power plans today and experience the victory of superior service. Smart, bringing people together.
A man is reportedly missing, and his cousin came forward to ask the public to help her locate him. Nicole McDonald told News 5 today that he was informed by a police officer last week that 37-year-old Akeem Morgan did not report to court for a case he has pending for a gun charge. McDonald said she bailed Morgan from prison because he had complained of abuse and was trying to improve his life. Now she is concerned about his whereabouts because he normally reports to the police station each week as per one of his conditions of bail.
I bailed him out of the prison because he was charged with kept firearm without a gun license. Unfortunately, he told me that all the police then beat him up and planted the gun on him. Unfortunately, I got a call on Friday from the court police that he did not show up to court and he's out on bail under my watch. Every week he goes to the station to sign. He works in Cayo. I got a text, I put it out on my Facebook on Sunday, and I got a text that police was looking for him in Corozal. They had him detained. Unfortunately, when I went to the police station on Monday, they did not find him. They didn't even want to take my report. I spoke to Sergeant Arzu, and she said that, oh, I need to locate his address. But he was released in my custody. I'm his cousin. His mom is my aunt. She don't live in Belize. He spent years and years and years in prison.
When was the last time you saw him and interacted with him?
I last interacted with him in September, and he came to sign in, and he'd say, "Cause I can sign in." Then I went back to my work, the Cayo. I made work the Cayo for some, I don't know the person them name, but I can see he was trying to change his life.
A network of Indigenous leaders from across the country recently convened for a dialogue to amplify their voices and address environmental issues in their Indigenous spaces. Supported by the University of California, the event was held both online and in person at the Sir Colville N. Young Building in Belize City on Tuesday, featuring leaders from the Maya and Garifuna groups. The event highlighted the importance of including Indigenous voices in environmental policy discussions and urged policymakers to listen and involve them in decisions about their lands and resources. Here's more from one of the leaders who attended. Garifuna leader Cynthia Ellis told us more.
This gathering is to present the indigenous voices, the people whose voices that are often not heard, you know? And so the thing is that these people have for long been living on these lands and in these communities, and they have woken up sometimes and seen different projects and programs that are being developed in our space, and we have not been involved in the planning and the implementation of these projects. So we are just presenting ourselves as nature does. Plants recommend themselves, and these plants say, here I am to participate in my own development. We are having an Indigenous Peoples Network, which includes Maya, Garifuna, Creole, and all these people who have an interest in upgrading and uplifting the spaces of our people. I'm talking the forests, I'm talking about Barranco, Hopkins, Saint Bite, all these coastal communities where we have situations of intense development, high-rise resorts, and all that kind of development, which often compromises the situation of our cultural way of life.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com on both our Facebook and YouTube. I'm Carla Ayers Musa. From all of us here at News 5, good night.